let's get to the team you were tasked at handling, Frank, Team USA. For me, this is the only forward group that can rival Team Canada's. And honestly, with some of these guys, like I love a Matt Boldy, and you look through a few of these names in the bottom six, it's like, again, this one just rival Team Canada. Like there's an argument to be made that it's just as good.
It's really good. They're going to score a lot. I don't think it's quite as good as Canada. I think the US has a clear advantage, I think, on defense top to bottom. And I also think obviously in net. So the matchup, like it's already circled on my calendar. February 15th, 8 p.m. puck drop at Bell Center in Montreal on Saturday night, February 15th. Like just take it and hook it right into my veins. This is as good as it gets. And really the toughest part about going through this projection is, the age old debate that it comes to putting together a team. Are you looking for the best collection of players? Like, are you trying to build an all-star team, or are you trying to fill very specific roles with certain players? And that's why I love the flexibility that someone like a Vincent Trocheck has, or Dylan Larkin, or Chris Kreider. Like Trocheck and Larkin could easily play the wing if required. They could definitely play center. JT Miller could play center. Like you've got lots of different options in play here. You've got creativity, you've got goals. And it was hard to leave off some guys like Cole Caulfield, Brock Besser, Tage Thompson, Clayton Keller. Those are all fantastic players. Tage Thompson's like tops in the league in goals for per 60 this year at 5-on-5. Brock Besser has shot the lights out. Cole Caulfield's one of the league leaders in goals this year. All really worthy candidates. But they're going to have plenty of scoring already. So I think you probably needed to bring a different element. And Trocheck has a versatility. Kreider has a net front presence. Like Boldy, I'm always going to bet on guys that play for the team of the GM that's making these selections. You're not going to, if you can avoid it, leave your guys off. And Boldy has put himself squarely in the mix that I think Bill Guerin is going to find a way to get him there.
Pat, can you maybe flash up the board with the Team USA cuts on it? Because I do think, again, as Frank went through some of those names, like we talked about, the forward group a step below Canada's. If USA was to put together a B squad and Canada was to put together a B squad, I think USA is actually better, as crazy as that sounds coming out of my mouth. But you're right, a ton of talent left off here. And as we move to the blue line, Frank, Neil Pionk, we raved about him yesterday on the show. He did not make your roster. That is a testament to how good this blue line is. But I think he's one of those guys where if his play in November is as good as it was in October, he deserves to be on here. Take us through your process in putting together this blue line and your process with some of the cuts as well.
Well, that's the other thing that's kind of, I think, a fable of this selection process is that someone over these next 4 weeks is going to play their way onto the team. I think it's a way larger sample size and body of work. And to be swayed by one player, unless the wheels totally fall off of another, probably isn't going to happen. Like the bar and threshold is really high. Like if you notice, and not to single anyone out, I didn't even consider Seth Jones. Like he's not on my radar for this because I don't think he's been good for a while. And so part of it is fit. The toughest one was the number 7 spot. I went with Brett Pesce over Zach Werenski. Part of it because of the selection process, as mentioned, Tom Fitzgerald is one of the assistant GMs. He has Pesce in New Jersey. Like that probably means something. Werenski would be a totally fine candidate. Like I think if you subbed Werenski, and I think he's probably even more well-rounded than Pesce, if you were to sub him in, I wouldn't bat an eye at that at all. But I think Brock Faber has been really good. Jake Sanderson is unbelievable. They've got a nice blend between offense and defense. And to the same point that I made earlier with Team Canada, like Quinn Hughes and Adam Fox are probably going to get the lion's share of the power play time. What else are you bringing to the table that you can do for this team to help this team if you're not on the power play? Neil Pionk is a great sort of answer to that. He's not going to be playing power play for Team USA. Unbelievable skater. But what's his defense like? Is it as good as some of the other guys on this list? Is he as skilled? Is he as good? I would say right now, as awesome as he's been, 12 points so far to start the year, I don't know that he necessarily meets that threshold to differentiate himself.
You want to talk about differentiating the biggest difference between this roster and Canada's? And I mean, hey, Finland's got one elite goalie. Sweden, you could say, okay, they got two. Canada's saying, boy, we'd love to have one. USA goes, we got three of them, maybe four, because Demko's cut.
Yeah, that's tough. I feel for Thatcher Demko, who's very unlikely to make this team given his injury situation. It's hard to inspire confidence, even though last year he was quite clearly at a Vezina level when he played with the Canucks last. But you got to be confident in your picks. And there's a stout group as it is: Hellebuck, Ottinger, Swayman. I mean, you could make the argument that, and I don't know if you'd win with Saros in the mix, but that the US has the best three goalies, period, in the tournament. Like 1, 2, 3, not like the totality of the trio, like 1, 2, and 3. They're all the best goalie in the tournament.
Well, yeah, because when you think about who the other elite goalies are, they're not playing in this tournament. There's no Shesterkin, there's no Vasilevsky, there's no Sorokin, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of what stands out is the US is going to have that nice backbone to lean on. Their question is, can they match what Canada's forwards can do?
What's up, hockey fans? If you enjoyed that video, then you need to be hitting the subscribe button right here at Daily Faceoff. Exclusive interviews and analysis from our hockey insider Frank Seravalli, fantasy updates from Brock Sagan, and a daily live show at noon Eastern, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the fantastic content, so hit that subscribe button.